Welcome to the Ben Daniel Podcast, where we're calling a spade a spade. The new front office has taken a hold of the Indiana Fever, and within months, we get a new general manager. Within months, we will be getting a new coach, and there's one more domino that needs to fall that's been a cancer to the Indiana Fever this entire season, and that person is sack of potatoes, NaLyssa Smith. NaLyssa Smith. Once Christie Sides gets fired, NaLyssa Smith now wants to associate with the organization again. NaLyssa Smith now seemingly wants to be a part of the Indiana Fever again. Once the season ended, NaLyssa Smith went on a little tirade where she took the Indiana Fever out of all of her bios. On her Twitter profile, no longer part of the Indiana Fever. On her Instagram account, no longer part of the Indiana Fever. NaLyssa Smith was seemingly trying to send messages to the organization, and I think the message that she thought she was sending was a message that was already loud and clear. The message that she ended up sending was the message that she doesn't need to be on this team moving forward. Folks, before we get into that, Christie Sides goes on Twitter and responds after getting let go, saying, "Leave it better than you found it." Christie Sides, this is actually a testament to the delusion that you have had all season. You think that the Indiana Fever are now better off because of how you left it. You think the Indiana Fever are a better off team because of how you left it. No, Christie. The Indiana Fever are a better team because you looked into a first-round draft pick, Aaliyah Boston, and you won the lottery getting another first overall pick in Caitlin Clark. You lucked into the first overall pick last year with Aaliyah Boston. You lucked into the first overall pick this year with Caitlin Clark. That's why the Indiana Fever are, quote-unquote, left better than they were found from your administration. Christie Sides, you should take absolutely zero responsibility for the growth that this team has shown this season. Yeah, it was cool watching you hand out toilet paper at practice so they can make toilet paper mummies of themselves. Yeah, that was cool. It was cool of you guys playing all these little scavenger hunt games before practice. Yeah, that was cool. But the most important part of all of that was the work Caitlin Clark was putting in behind closed doors. The work Lexi Hull was putting in behind closed doors. The work Kelsey Mitchell was putting in behind closed doors. The work Aaliyah Boston was putting in behind closed doors. Those team bonding exercises, that's good for an HR person, but that's not good for a head coach. You need to actually coach. You think that this team succeeded because of you, and you think they failed because of the team, because of the lack of execution, because of the lack of paint touches, because the team wasn't together. Christie, again, see ya, wouldn't want to be ya. But the reason why the Indiana Fever turned things around the second half of the season is because it seems like something came down from the top, the top-tippity top, and said, can you guys tell Christie Sides to stop being a delusional fool when she comes to running this team? Whether that's Herb Simon, you let me know. Whether that was Lynn Dunn, you let me know. Whether that was the former president, Allison Barber, you let me know. But if Christie Sides had her way this year, Caitlin Clark would be taking long twos. Caitlin Clark would have 0.5 seconds in her mind to make a decision. Folks, this is an organization that is now serious. This is a statement they made on Christie Sides firing. We're incredibly thankful to Coach Sides for embracing the challenge of leading us through an integral transition period over the last 2 seasons, while also positioning us well for growth. While decisions like these are never easy, it is also imperative that we remain bold and assertive in the pursuit of our goals, which includes maximizing our talent and bringing another WNBA championship back to this team. While decisions like these are never easy, it's imperative that we remain bold and assertive in the pursuit of our goals, which includes maximizing our talent and bring another WNBA championship back to this team. Christie Sides, you were clearly not maximizing the talent. You were not getting the best out of Caitlin Clark. You were not getting the best out of Kelsey Mitchell. You were not getting the best out of Aaliyah, the best out of Erica Wheeler, the best out of Lexi Hull, the best out of Katie Lou, the best out of Dantis, the best out of Temi Fagbenley. You were not getting. Caitlin Clark was getting the best out of them. Kelsey Mitchell was getting the best out of them. Again, the team succeeded in spite of you, not because of you. But going on this statement, it's imperative that we remain bold and assertive in the pursuit of our goals, which includes maximizing our talent. And when it comes to maximizing our talent, somebody else needs to go. And that brings us to NaLyssa Smith. Yes, folks, this is NaLyssa Smith. NaLyssa Smith and Christie Sides. NaLyssa Smith. Here we go again with some more social media drama courtesy of NaLyssa Smith. The message that NaLyssa Smith wanted to send to the organization after she clearly dissociated herself with the Indiana Fever was, hey, I'm not a fan of the coach. Please get rid of the coach and I will be happy. But NaLyssa, what you didn't account for were all the other things that you did this season that shows the new organization you're just emotional. You're just unhinged. You're more concerned about the Twitter drama and the Instagram drama than you are about actually performing on the court. You don't deserve to be on this team either. Over here talking about the fans, you're mad as blank. Make sure that apology is just as loud as the disrespect. What apology? I apologize you're so bad. I apologize there's no space for you on this roster. I apologize you can't grab a rebound. I apologize you can't make a shot. I apologize your patented go-to move is spin, move, brick, spin, move, brick, spin, move, brick, get to the line, miss 2 free throws, brick, brick. That's what I apologize for. I apologize that you decide to get yourself into a relationship with somebody who is an opportunist. Somebody who sees a way to get their name into the limelight and instead of just laying low, being a respectable partner, letting you go out and handle your business, Dejanay Carrington would rather get her name some clips. She would rather get some clout. She would rather garner more attention. See what happens when my girl gets paint touches? Fun while it lasted, babe. Yeah, another one of those games where we went to NaLyssa Smith, paint touches, paint touches, paint touches, and the offense looked the worst it did all season. Just another one of those games where NaLyssa Smith goes 4 for 15, and the offense looks the worst than it did all season. Oh my God, no, Ben, you're wrong. That was a game she won 4 for 6, and the offense looked the worst it did all season. You see how the answer is always the same? NaLyssa Smith doesn't deserve to be back on this team. And then what does she go and do? Now she wants to be part of the Indiana Fever. After taking the Indiana Fever out of her bio, now, once Christie Sides is fired, okay, now it's time for me to be an Indiana Fever again. Now it's time for me to show my allegiance to this organization again. NaLyssa Smith, too little, too late. We don't want you here. Not only do we not want you here, I don't even think the Indiana Fever wants you here. Again, we can go back to that statement, folks. It's imperative that we remain bold and assertive in the pursuit of our goals, which includes maximizing our talent. NaLyssa Smith, she deserves to be right here. This is where she needs to be. In China, getting better. In China, practicing her shots. In China, not being a detriment to the Indiana Fever. That's where NaLyssa Smith wants to be. Because when NaLyssa Smith is on the court, and more importantly, when she's going against the Connecticut Sun, she forgets how to get her rebound. And instead of continue to playing, she'd rather bend over and try to pick up her girlfriend. Oh, you all right? You all right? And there's Eric Wheeler saying, you better remember what team you play for. You better remember what team you play for. And this was every single game that NaLyssa Smith played against the Connecticut Sun. She would always forget what she was doing. She would always forget how to play. She would, there's a jump ball. Oh, just a coincidence. It goes to Dejanay Carrington. Again, NaLyssa Smith, we don't want you on our team at all. And you know who else I hope doesn't want you? The new president. Do you know who else I hope doesn't want you? The new GM. Do you know who else I hope doesn't want you? The potential new coach. And speaking of Stephanie White has actually said a few glowing things about Kelly Krauskopf. This was on the lead up to the playoff game. Let's hear what Stephanie Smith Stephanie White had to say.
Coming back to the Indiana Fever, what's kind of your reaction to what that'll mean for this franchise that's on the rise?
Yeah, I mean, I think Kelly certainly has been the architect of everything that's gone on in the Indiana Fever franchise from day one. And so for her to come back, I think it says how serious, the organization is to taking the next step. And I think it shows Kelly's love for the W, right? Love and commitment to the W and to the Indiana Fever franchise. Certainly there's no one better to usher in the Fever into this next era than Kelly.
Awesome words from you, Stephanie. I appreciate that. It just goes to show how serious this organization is. And a serious organization doesn't have Sack of Potato Smith as one of your rotation players. We don't need it, folks. We've gotten Kelly. You've done a great job so far. No more Lynn Dunn, check. No more Christie Sides, check. Now there's one more player who needs to get up out of here. The expansion draft is December 6th. The Indiana Fever have up until 10 days before that draft to submit their roster on who's getting cored and who's eligible for the draft. Maybe the new Golden State Valkyries head coach, maybe she'd want NaLyssa Smith and just take it right off our books. But again, no serious winning program, no serious organization that wants to win should tolerate somebody who spends more time on social media than in the practice gym. Should tolerate somebody who goes to cry about not getting enough not enough playing time on social media rather than looking inward saying, hey, what can I do to get better? We don't need that. We definitely don't need that. Now, this is Scott Agnes, who's a beat reporter for the Indiana Fever. Follow them from start to finish. The post-game videos that you see on this channel, shout out to Scott. Those are all Scott getting in the building, recording, doing the people's work. All those pre-game videos, the pre-game interviews, the post-game press conferences, that's all Scott getting in the building, doing the people's work. So this is Scott actually speaking on NaLyssa Smith potentially returning or not returning come next season.
Hear any issues between players and the coaching staff this year? There were certainly seemingly some. NaLyssa Smith was not happy about her role. I was curious about how Christy Wallace accepted her role. Right, that's just got to be difficult from a human standpoint to go from starting to not even in the rotation. But specific examples, nothing outside of really NaLyssa Smith. I know she was terribly unhappy about the way in which this season went for her. So yeah, someone mentioned it above. I would be surprised if she is brought back, no doubt.
Disappointed with how the season went for her. Again, a player about me, I, instead of team. NaLyssa, have you been in the playoffs yet? No? Oh, okay. That seems like a successful year in your case then, doesn't it? Yeah, but I didn't have my 15 paint touches. I didn't have my 17 points per game. I wasn't able to shoot 35% on 16 shots. I wasn't able to do those things, so I'm not happy. NaLyssa, trust me, the minutes that you played, we were unhappy. Kelly Krauskopf, let's keep the good times rolling. Let's keep the good times rolling. You've given us hope. You've restored faith. Let's keep this rolling. NaLyssa Smith can't be on this team moving forward. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. This is the Ben Daniel Podcast, where we're calling a spade a spade. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. As always, folks, take it easy.